Over the years, I've more than doubled my weight. So I went from being 300 pounds to 650 plus pounds. We don't know what my actual starting weight is. The only scale I've ever stepped on has gone to 640 pounds, and I didn't register on that. I guess my health just started degrading pretty rapidly. I wasn't looking at the long term effects of what I was doing. I was just wanted the satisfaction for now and didn't care. And that's the same behavior as a drug addict. I feel like it took me a while to get to where I'm at mentally, to have the mental strength to actually do what I'm doing now. Before I started carnivore, I had like 15 minutes of doing anything in me for the entire day. I couldn't even work because I couldn't pass a physical. And now I walk my dog a mile a day every day. I work out 3 days a week. I'm back in a truck. I'm healthy enough now to get back to work. I know it sounds too good to be true, and usually if something sounds too good to be true, it is, but you can't make this up. Everyone that's been following along with me seen me at the beginning and they see me now.
Well, everyone, I want to welcome you back to Carnivore Conversations. I'm Dr. Rob Kiltz, and today I'm joined by someone who's become a powerful voice in the carnivore community. He's lost 150 pounds in just 252 days, reversed serious health problems, and is now inspiring thousands through his story. Please welcome Michael, also known as the Ground Beef Chief. It's great to have you here, my friend.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
It's great to be here. Let's start with your story. What was life like before carnivore, and what made you decide to make such a big change?
Okay, so life before carnivore, trying to think of where I should begin here. So I'm a truck driver. That's what I do for a living. Before I started trucking, I would consider myself in pretty good shape, decent health. I'm 6'5", and I was about 300 pounds before I started trucking. Over the years, I've put on a lot of weight. Actually, I've more than doubled my weight in 10 years. So I went from being 300 pounds to 650 plus pounds. We don't know what my actual starting weight is because the only scale I've ever stepped on has gone to 640 pounds, and I didn't register on that. So I could have been more than 650 pounds. But if that wasn't enough driving force to actually make me change myself, I don't know what would have been. I guess my health just started degrading pretty rapidly, especially in the past couple years. I just basically wanted to start carnivore just because of you see, big names such as Joe Rogan talking about it, and then Dr. Ken Berry. I found him, and then my sister and her husband. They also started carnivore. They had a whole host of health issues that after they started carnivore, they went away, and I was one of those people who thought it was too good to be true. And until I actually did take the time to do some research and look up other carnivore success stories, such as, for diabetes, my diabetic medication was making me really sick. So basically, I was just researching a way to help my diabetes without taking medicine, and everything led me to either keto or carnivore, and I chose carnivore.
All right. If you're not a member of the Mighty Tribe yet, you must, right? Just go to Kiltz's Mighty Tribe and become a member. It's free. The whole intention is to bring the community of all humans to learn why this is better than this. And we invite all vegans and vegetarians, Mediterraneans, and carnivorians to Kiltz's Mighty Tribe. It's a meetup. It's a place to learn while you've been suffering likely from this, and you'll feel better on this. But what are the nuances of what you can do to feel better, look better, and live better? Because I've done it, and that's why I created the Mighty Tribe, to bring you into the masterclass. Be the master, my friends, and join Kiltz's Mighty Tribe. God bless. What was the impetus that, keto's out there? Everyone seems to be doing keto. And do you think that when we see the carnivore, it's like such a greater change to people's health, more so than keto?
Well, I can tell you this from personal experience. I have done keto in the past. Before, years ago, I attempted keto, and I always felt hungry. So, in my personal opinion, I think carnivore is the superior ketogenic diet than the keto diet, just because of I was always feeling hungry and still craving food while I was doing keto. And that's might just be isolated to me and people similar to me. But I found that with carnivore, I don't crave food. I mean, we're going over 8 months now. I've never cheated, and I don't ever plan to cheat. So I do feel like carnivore is the better option. But I'm not gonna knock keto at all. I do think keto is a good diet as well.
And essentially, carnivore is a keto diet
Right.
anyway. And I mean, I guess you're either a plant eater, an animal eater, or a combination of both. And ultimately, when you go animal only, cravings gone, your satiation is greater. And I think overall, I've seen people have a bigger life change in their health journey than looking at what we call the keto diet, which I think when we say keto, you're really talking about a modified Mediterranean diet more than anything.
Yeah, so I'm not really familiar with the Mediterranean diet, but I just do know keto is basically carnivore, but with vegetables, right?
Right. And I mean, keto is a high fat diet essentially. And when
Right.
you eat the fat, animal fat, it seems to reduce inflammation, reduce your appetite, and the fatty meat seems to take away those cravings that we so get on the animal plant keto diet.
Yeah, so like I said, when I was doing keto, I still had cravings, although I never gave it more than probably 90 days
Yeah.
on the keto diet in the past. I was getting cravings probably because I'm hypersensitive to food. So everything sets me off, seasonings. And when I say set me off, I mean like really triggers that thing that got me to be 650 pounds in the first place. It's just like I have a bite of something, and I just don't have that feeling of getting full. So when I was doing keto, I was eating a lot of vegetables and all that, and I would keep finding myself hungry and could never get past that point personally. But that could be an issue isolated to only me though, and I
Are
just want to
you
clarify that.
Yeah. Are you in the community of carnivore? Are you seeing a greater shift and improvement in those people in this community than you noticed in the keto community?
All right, so that's a hard one to answer because I wasn't on YouTube
Mm,
or anything like that when I was doing keto. I was doing like watching YouTube videos on keto, and to me the communities seem pretty much the same. I don't know. There's the carnivore community has been so positive, and everyone supports me on my channel and is so kind. But I haven't seen anything negative on the keto community in the keto community. But I have seen like a famous trainer. I don't know. I probably shouldn't name her. She really knocked keto because she said that high fat diets are dangerous. But as far as in the community goes, I don't notice any difference.
on the high fat carnivore diet, and really we should say a high fat keto diet is really the key to all of this. How are you getting your fats? What's your standard meal plans that you've been practicing?
Okay. All right. So I've changed up on this diet 100 times.
Mm,
So so basically, when I first started off, I was doing beef, bacon, butter, eggs, pretty like heavily. Like I was adding a lot of butter and really adding a lot of fat to my food. But as time went on, for me personally, I didn't need as much fat to feel good. So right now, my diet consists of like I eat 80/20 ground beef. So this week in particular, I've been eating 2 pounds of ground beef every day, and I've been eating chicken breasts with avocado mayo. And I know that's you can call that dirty carnivore, but it's working for me. I'm still dropping weight, and I still feel really good, best I've felt in years. So that's what I eat now. But previously, like the last time I saw you, I was eating beef, bacon, butter, eggs every day.
yeah.
Um, so I kind of I I'll still have eggs every now and then, but I basically eat beef and chicken now currently, and it's going to change back. Like I already have my grocery list planned for next week. Next week I'm doing chicken thighs and bacon to give you an example.
Uh,
So I'm just doing whatever I feel best on, and as long as I'm keeping dropping weight and being healthy and having good blood work, I'm going to keep doing whatever I feel is right for myself.
Or what type of physical ailments have you seen reduce or go away? And tell us a little bit about your blood work after that.
Yeah. Okay. I do have my blood work right here, by the way.
Cool.
Basically, I could barely walk before I started carnivore when I was 650. I
Wow.
could barely walk. I'd get out of breath doing almost anything, showering, walking up the stairs, you name it. I'd be like out of breath, like I just ran a marathon. To sum it all up, before I started carnivore, I had like 15 minutes of doing anything in me for the entire day. I
Wow.
couldn't even work because I couldn't pass a physical. As a truck driver, you have to have a physical. I couldn't even work because I couldn't pass a physical. And now I'm walking. I walk my dog a mile a day. Every day I get back from trucking, I walk my dog for a mile. I work out 3 days a week. I'm back in a truck. I'm healthy enough now to get back to work, and I'm working 10 hours a day or a night. It's third shift, so I'm working 10 hours every night now. So I got to say, like, in terms of like being able to move around and endurance and all that. I mean, I'm like 10 times better than I was just 8 months ago. I know it sounds too good to be true, and usually if something sounds too good to be true, it is. But you can't make this up. Everyone that's been following along with me seen me at the beginning, and they see me now.
And tell me a little bit about your blood work and what type of things have you seen change, improve
Okay,
on this
so
journey?
okay, yeah, sure. Basically, everything's improved in my blood work. Uh, so we'll start off with my A1C. How's that?
Yeah,
So
let's start there.
so back in 2023, I had my A1C done, and it was a 10.2. After that, it was a bad doctor's visit. I was put on a bunch of medication after that, and I just didn't want to go back. So I didn't go back until this year. I went back in April. I went back this year and had my A1C done because that marks 6 months that I've been on carnivore in April. My A1C went from a 10.2 down to a 6.1. So that was probably the best thing that I was looking for, and it just some interesting things too that about my blood work. So my cholesterol total is 221. Before, back in 2023, it was 217. So obviously I'm eating a high fat diet. I'm not really worried about cholesterol because I've done a
It,
lot of
it
research, Dr. Kiltz. All right.
and it didn't change. It didn't change very much. Is that what you just said?
It
Just
didn't change hardly at all,
yeah,
but
right.
I want you to, this is the interesting thing. My triglycerides went from 279 back in 2023 down to 93 after eating a high fat diet. My
Mm.
triglycerides went from 279 to 93. My HDL cholesterol went from a 32 to a 27. Not much change there.
Right, right.
HDL is low, but I'm working on it. What else might you be looking for in my blood work?
Well, I always sort of look at your hemoglobin hematocrit, your metabolic status in the sense of your liver enzymes, your renal, kidney, and markers. But the most important thing I always look at is how you feeling. I'm sometimes question all of our blood work that maybe we're doing too much of it. And maybe it's not as quite a big marker, but I think the hemoglobin A1C is really like the best because diabetes and prediabetes seem to be the leading cause of most disease. And if we could get that pre-diabetic diabetic conditions down, you'll do a lot better. And the question is, do cholesterol, triglycerides, and LDL, HDL, VLDL markers really matter?
Well, I don't think that the cholesterol markers matter as long as you're not eating sugar and carbs because you're not getting that what's it called it's not oxidizing the cholesterol, so it's
Yeah.
not really dangerous. If I'm not mistaken, so that's why I'm not worried. Like my LDL cholesterol is 177. My doctor tried to get me to take statins, and I could tell by the look in his eyes he didn't want me to do it. I felt like he was obligated to ask me that question, and I said
Mhm.
no, I'm not taking statins, and he took it. He didn't argue it or nothing. So I don't think that anybody should worry about LDL cholesterol, based on how good I feel and how good I'm doing from where I was personally. And I don't have I'm not a doctor. I don't have any qualifications, but all the research I've been doing, all these doctors, you got heart surgeons saying LDL cholesterol is good. What's causing heart disease is inflammation, high blood sugar is what, and stuff like that is what's causing heart disease, not the cholesterol.
Yeah, it seems like ever since we told people to go low fat, the incidence of all the diseases is on the rise. And so maybe the story is our biggest problem. And what you're saying is you went high fat, your numbers, you got better. And, we're still looking at these numbers, but I think in some way there's a little entertainment in them more than anything that we're showing, hey, listen, I'm getting better, but these numbers are still not falling in whatever they think it is. And that's our, it's modern doctors. Did your healthcare provider ever say, Michael, I think you should try the carnivore diet?
No, no. And then, he shook my hand after I got the blood work. He ordered me to come back in a week to go over the blood work with me. And I told him I've been on this carnivore diet. I haven't ate a single carb or gram of sugar in 6 months at the time. He said, "Oh, well, no fiber or nothing." I said, "No." He said, "You having problems, going to the bathroom?" I said, "No, I go every day." He was really skeptical. I come in a week later after the blood work. He actually shook my hand and he said, "A lot of people say they're doing this and doing that, and everything's still the same." He goes, by yesterday's standards, you're not even diabetic, but they changed the standards of the A1C." And so, he was happy with it. And, aside from trying to get me on that statin, I was happy with it.
Have you incorporated any fasting into your lifestyle? I'm now day 12. I've done 12 days of no food.
Right now,
And right now, I'm literally 12 days no food. I've never felt better. I'm not hungry. I'm going to go to Sunday, and it is pretty radical. My glucose is in the 50 to 70 range. My insulin's less than 1. My energy's out of control. I do my work every day. I do my walking, my weights every day, and it's radical. I've been having a little bit of mineral supplements, electrolytes. I've had a little bit of decaf coffee, and really that's about it. I went to dinner with my team last night. My friends, and I sat there. They ate steak and pasta and bread and cake. I didn't touch anything. I had some sparkling water. I'm actually going to go tonight and say hi to my other team who's going to dinner tonight at the same restaurant and say hello to them. Food freedom. It's amazing. And I think carnivore gives you the ability to say food freedom from the plant products. And then when you incorporate fasting, it's just a whole nother level. Have you had any experience with fasting, even if you're doing just one meal a day or giving bigger windows to your eating plan?
I'm aware of all the benefits from fasting. And I can't believe you're on 12 days. That's crazy. That is pretty radical. Fasting for me right now isn't something I'm considering right now. I'm just not ready to do something like that right now. I did OMAD for the last or 2 weeks ago, or for 2 weeks in a row. I did one meal a day. In those 2 weeks, my weight loss did stall.
Interesting.
So yeah, it is interesting. Actually, I put on weight, but also during those same 2 weeks, I was transitioning into a third shift sleep schedule for my job. And then after I'm finally getting acclimated to the sleep schedule, I dropped the weight, that the 4 pounds that I put on in 2 weeks, dropped that plus 2 more after I got acclimated. But I kind of tossed the one meal a day thing to the side again, and I'm currently doing 2 meals a day again, but within a 6-hour window. So I still have 18 hours of fasting, unintentional fasting every day. But a 12-day fast, wow. And you said you're going to go for 2 weeks?
I'm going to go 15 days, and I promised myself 2 weeks. I've done 7 days before. My typical is 5 days every quarter, and I was like, I just put it out there. I'm going to do 2 weeks, 14 days. It's been pretty remarkable, the stamina and the power I've gotten from it. I think fasting, 1 to 2 days on a regular basis is gives you that next level of food freedom. Not required, by the way. It's just interesting and fun because we're playing with all of this. you tried one meal a day, you're doing two. I've been doing this for 15 years. So believe me, I kind of started in this prolonged fasting a couple of years ago. I'm just having fun with it and testing things out. It's interesting. I've lost about 6 pounds in 12 days, less than I thought. Usually it was about 1 pound a day. Now it's like I actually lost and then I gained some weight. So I think it's a lot because I'm drinking a lot of fluids and I'm not urinating and expelling all of that. But I just think a lot of it is just our ability to have power of our mindset. And maybe you comment about your mindset that's gotten you to this keto carnivore space. And has that helped your mental clarity or your ability to carry out things?
Well, first of all, you're on a whole other level than me. So it took, for me, it took like I feel like it took me a while to get to where I'm at mentally to have the mental strength to actually do what I'm doing now. So you're the next level above. I mean, I feel like it'd take me years to reach that kind of mental strength that you have. Because to go 12 days without food is, to me, seems radical, and I'm not knocking it at all. So don't get me wrong. It just seems like that's something that
Crazy.
I can only see somebody else do. I don't. It's hard to imagine myself do something like that.
I
But
always say not yet. Not
eh,
yet,
not
because
yet.
not yet. Because ultimately we all have the power of the gods within us. We can do anything, but a lot of it is, I always say not yet. And we don't know tomorrow because we know today and that's about it. But the mind is the master. And I believe for me, a carnivore lifestyle gave me the power to do everything and anything. And that's where I think what your journey is. You're playing with your journey of where keto and carnivore and one meal, two meals, and all these sort of things that I think are part of our journey. I'm 70 next year. How young are you?
I'm 33.
Right on. So you got twice a life to live still, right? And many other journeys to go through to explore and experience.
I gotta say something about your fasting. When people get cancer, they get to a point where they don't eat, and I feel like that's a survival mechanism of your body to not eat to get the benefits from fasting to try to heal itself when you have cancer. And that's just a thought that I've always had because I had an uncle that passed away from cancer, and he went a few weeks without eating just because he simply wasn't hungry. He didn't feel good. That's probably a survival mechanism for your body too.
I believe that cancer is an inflammatory disorder secondary to plant protein, low fat diet, and eating 3 to 6 meals a day. When you fast and or add fat, animal fat, by the way, you reduce inflammation in the gut, which reduces inflammation systemically. There's plenty of information that gut inflammation leads to chronic systemic inflammation in every organ system and cell of our body. So fasting, I think, is therapeutic, it's spiritual, it's renewal. Personally, I think getting past 1, 2, 3 days is magical because the gut is never empty until you've gone at least 3 to 5 full days without eating. It's not required. And that's why if you do rare to raw fatty meat, you significantly reduce the microbes in the gut, which reduces the inflammation. So many people like Sophia Clemens and Paleo Medicine in Hungary and many others that are sharing the fasting lifestyle along with keto carnivore will significantly reduce inflammation in the gut and systemically, which ultimately may help heal. I'm going to use the word cure and or prevent cancer. Now, modern science is looking for a prospective, randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled study to prove things. I don't think we need to prove anything. We already know the story.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
and
definitely. I agree.
yeah, so it's your story, my story, all the stories we're telling has more power over the scientific studies, if you think about it, because the scientific studies are waiting for an IRB approved study, being able to get it accepted into a journal, a publication. You must publish or perish. And so there's always some bias to whether or not you're going to get it published, or you're going to publish, or what's your real motive and why you're even doing the study. But what's your motive for doing this and sharing it?
Okay, so my motive to start carnivore was obviously to get back into good health and lose this weight. To start sharing it, I just know the struggle, everything that I've gone through. My entire life I've been overweight, right? It was to inspire people like me who was looking for a way out, of being miserable, overweight, and unhealthy. That was my motivation to start broadcasting myself. Another reason why I also do that is because it helps me stay motivated. It helps me keep that. I just know that every week, I have 2,000 some people to answer to if I don't stick to the diet. So that's another reason why I do YouTube. So another thing is I don't want my parents to have to bury one of their kids. And I was a burden to a lot of people over the last few years. I was a burden to a lot of people, and I just don't want to be a burden to anybody. And that's pretty much the whole why I'm doing what I'm doing with carnivore and with YouTube.
How is it we get to this situation where suddenly you're 600 pounds? And I'm not here pointing fingers at anyone, but what is it about our environment, our culture, our lifestyles that get us here?
Well, I can't answer for everybody on that, but I can give you my personal thought on how I got to be where I was. So basically, I always loved eating food and didn't really think of my health. I always put it off in the back of my head, like, oh, it's okay. I'll lose the weight one day and um, I'll be all right. I know I'll snap out of it. And so I had that mindset of, oh, it's not going to happen to me, right? And then being a truck driver, the only thing I had to look forward to every day was food. I'm alone in a truck. I was over the road for a long time, and all I had was food. I had no other entertainment. I mean, I had my phone and YouTube and all that, but I wanted to actually enjoy something deeply. It was food, and I developed this relationship with food where I I lost control of it. I can't tell you. I just didn't. I wasn't looking at the long term effects of what I was doing. I was just wanted the satisfaction for now and didn't care. And that's the same behavior as a drug addict. So for me, it was addiction, but I can't answer for everybody else. But that's my
What,
honest,
but
my
I'm
honest story.
curious on the type of food that we're fed and eat. Isn't it just naturally highly addictive anyway, in the sense that it makes us feel good and want more? Because I don't think we know the reason why some people tend to gain much more weight and have more medical problems than others. Because it seems like many people do eat similar, but some people gain the weight and get the medical problems that other people don't. So, I mean, ultimately, if you were eating bacon, eggs, butter, beef, and salt, it may have had a lot different consequences, but that's not our environment. And our environment, because I used to eat cookie, cake, ice cream, chips, pizza, pasta, bread, and I'd eat 3 meals plus a 6 pack of Coke a day. I didn't get obese. My sister did, and she got diabetes and she died. I did not. And so our challenge is to predict who and why. But ultimately, we know the simple answer is, well, we're consuming an addictive, plant-based, low-fat, high-sugar diet anyway. And in some way, there's maybe a genetic predisposition, other environmental factors that may have come into play.
Yeah, I mean, a few years ago, I was talking to a psychiatrist, because I used to be on depression meds, and they want to blame it on things that happened in the past, childhood trauma. They think her theory was it stems from childhood trauma. I did have a lot of childhood trauma, but that's not, it's not something I've ever dwelled on, but maybe subconsciously in my mind that triggered this food addiction. Like I said, I've been overweight my whole life. When I was growing up, none of my brothers or sisters were overweight, but here I am, twice the size of everyone else. And also, I'm the only one that went through specific childhood trauma, separated from my brothers and sisters. What happened to me didn't happen to them, and maybe she's right, but I don't know. I don't know where to point the finger at. All I know is I'm the one that I'm in control of my life, and so I don't care what happened in the past. Right now, I'm just moving forward and trying to live a healthy, happy life.
I like that because I believe genetically we're all predisposed, but there's some triggers in some people. But I think the brain is damaged on a plant protein, low fat diet. And all of us have gone through something. And whether or not we carry it to tomorrow is our choice. And I believe that the plant protein, low fat diet, 3 to 6 meals a day, is our deadly cause of disease, including brain disorders and depression, anxiety, suicidality, criminality. So I think you're right, but modern psychiatry, along with modern medicine, still thinks in an incorrect way. And if you look at Georgia Ede, Chris Palmer, Brain Energy, and Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind, you'll see like maybe we're wrong. Maybe you're allergic, like my sister Marianne. The plant protein, low fat diet she ate damaged her pancreas. And then because of diabetes and treating with all the standard diet, she lost her eyesight, her heart, her life, and many other things. And so if we just step back and realize, oh, wait a minute, we're lions, not sheep. You feed a lion plants, they become domesticated dogs and cats. And could it be as simple as that?
Yeah, something I tell all my friends who are curious about my carnivore diet is you don't know how sick you were until you started carnivore. Give yourself 3 days on carnivore and you'll realize how sick you were. And a lot of people don't realize that. When I hear people telling me, I have a family member who is a dietitian, and what he says makes me want to pull my hair out, because he's all about low fat, high carb, grains and pastas, but keep it low fat, and it makes me want to pull my hair out. And when I try to tell him about carnivore, he tells me I'm stupid. He belittles me. I gotta say, yeah, that's probably the one that I really am trying to get through, because it's people like him that need it the most, that need this knowledge the most, and I don't know how else to get it through to him.
Be the example.
I'm trying, but I feel like no matter what I do, he's gonna be like, "Oh, you could have done the same thing with this diet," but I just don't. Trying to get through to this one.
Be the example. All we can do in life, remember, you could lead a horse to water, you can't make them drink today. But the example will always tweak someone. It might not be that one, but it will be another one. None of us can predict that. But the more you do what you're doing and share the story, because right now, I believe you and I are in charge of our health care, not our doctors, not the government, not our nutritionists, nobody else. And so what you're learning and now sharing with the world will help infinite numbers of people, if not today, in the future, because what we're doing is we're making movies. And making movies is what people want to listen and learn from. And someone like you or someone like me is going to watch it and say, I I'm attracted to that idea with this person. We're all connected. And stories are it. And the more we do that, the better. But visualize that person. Just visualize them in the mind, listening, learning, and doing it. The mind is the master, I always say. As you think,
Yeah.
so shall it be.
I'll try to visualize him doing it. It's God, I wish I could. I wish I could go on a three-way phone call with you with him. But yeah, I wanted to bring something up too. While I got you here. So last time I talked to you, I was drinking coffee. You remember? I don't know if you remember, but somebody in the chat asked if it was coffee that I was drinking, and yes, I drink black coffee since I was in high school every day, and I was drinking about a pot of coffee a day. And then after the podcast I was on with you, I quit drinking coffee, and I wanted to share the results after I quit drinking coffee. So basically, in my blood work, my cortisol was high, and so I know that coffee can lead to higher cortisol, and that can also stunt weight loss. So I was like, I said, what the hell? I'm going to quit drinking coffee. It was so hard. It was harder to quit drinking coffee than it was to quit eating pizza. I quit drinking coffee, and the week that I quit drinking coffee, I lost 8 pounds that week after coming off from a stall. And then the following week, I lost 6 pounds. And then the following week after that, I lost another 5 pounds after coming off of a stall. That was the most weight loss I saw on my diet since the beginning. So at the beginning, I was losing, 10, 12 pounds a week, or anywhere from 8 to 12 pounds a week. So I hadn't seen that weight loss since the beginning after I quit drinking coffee. So I lost 21 pounds pretty quick after drinking coffee. However, I've stalled quite a few times on this journey so far.
I was off coffee for 2.5 years. This last week, I've had some decaf coffee and a little bit of electrolytes. I do the electrolytes. It has a little bit of stevia in it.
What kind of coffee are you drinking?
I drink one of those pods, the Nespresso decaf, and I do a black, and but 2.5 years no coffee. I may have had a cup like a month ago, but I'm pretty good at I'll be off of it and tomorrow, and I could go have a little bit here and there, and I don't need coffee. If I travel, I don't drink coffee. I just at home sometimes I enjoy it, but everyone's got to find their own place. But I think you're right. You got to do something hard in order to find the magic in life. And keto carnivore is hard. Getting rid of coffee and tea and alcohol is hard. Getting rid of pizza, pasta, bread is hard. But what good in life comes from easy? Nothing.
Exactly. One thing I definitely learned is that my health is much more important than what I'm putting in my mouth. Like I said, coffee was so hard to quit, and I'm not gonna lie. I'd be lying to people if I didn't tell you I wasn't wanting to start drinking coffee again. Being a trucker, coffee's something that's always stimulated me, kept me wired. And since I quit drinking coffee, I kind of feel a level of, I don't want to call it depression, but I just don't feel like I'm, like I told people on my channel, I feel like there's no more pep in my step since I quit drinking coffee. And I'm trying to find a way to get that pep back. And what I mean by that is just sharpness. I just want to feel sharp. And I don't feel that since I quit.
More electrolytes.
And
more walking.
I got a lot of electrolytes right here, Doc.
More meditation, prayer, visualization. What are you listening to? What are you watching? What are you thinking about? I mean, that's kind of what I do in life. That's why I do my lives. And I read books on positivity and love and kindness and generosity. Are you Christian, Muslim, Jewish?
Well, I'm a Christian. I got my Bible, keep my Bible with me all the time.
I took this off for a few minutes. I was doing something. I always wear that.
I see it, cross. Yep.
And I'm always reading books. This is called The Christ-Based Teachings by Don Curtis.
Mhm.
I'm always, always, always looking for something to read because the mind is the master. You need to practice that which you wish to be as if you already are. I've been off coffee and stimulants and for a long time. It hasn't changed my attitude, but because I practice my attitude like I practice my diet and my lifestyle. I think those are really important things. Plus, we're brothers. Sometimes it's good to talk about it. Okay, is coffee and caffeine like the end of the world that you shouldn't do it? Not in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like it's not really that big of a deal. I don't know though. I still haven't made my decision on whether or not I can tell you this. If I feel like I'm falling asleep at that wheel, I'm stopping at a truck stop and buying a cup of coffee. I can assure you that.
You know,
However,
look at as we think, so shall it be. Do not give negativity to anything in your life at all.
I
Your
try to practice
body,
that more.
your past, any of it. And that's why I'm writing a book called Christ Carnivore. I'm working on it right now. It's supposed to be out, but it'll be out soon.
I want a
I
signed
buy,
copy of it.
you're going to get it. I buy books that people have written all over them. They write stuff in them. The Christ-based teachings is just a miracle book to me. And by doing this, and I'm sure while you're driving on the road, and thank you for doing what you do, by the way. Think of all our lives that are touched because of what you do. And that's an important thing that we need to recognize. And that's why I do what I do and how we can uplift each and every one of us, no matter your size, shape, age, weight, gender, past, present, future, it doesn't matter. God loves each and every one of us. To me, Jesus Christ, Mother Mary, gave us the story that's the most powerful story ever created in the universe. And coffee, enjoy it. Enjoy it. It's not
And
our problem, in my opinion. But
I didn't think it was either. A lot of people were telling me that I should quit, and I did, but I don't know. I guess, like you said, I should just try to stop thinking about it because, again, though, apparently I was addicted because of the withdrawals were intense. You
well,
know,
I mean, we're addicted to life.
yeah,
Like,
true.
all right, all right. So, in my opinion, when we use the word addiction, we're talking about something that's harmful to you. You're addicted to air and food. You got to eat them, you got to breathe it, right? But that's not a negative, that's a positive, right? We're simply eating the wrong diet, living the wrong lifestyle as a lion. Enjoy the coffee, in my opinion. Add some butter, some cream. Go at it. I don't give negativity. I have a martini sometimes. I have some ice cream sometimes, some fries sometimes. I don't lose sleep over it, in my opinion. Don't give negativity to anything in your life. You want to think always in the positive. That's what Jesus Christ would do. Judge not lest ye be judged. Who do we judge worse than anyone else?
Ourselves.
Right.
Yep.
So the practice is every day to look in the mirror and say, I love you. And how much I love you and how wonderful you are. And you're on a journey of learning. Look at us, brothers, all around the globe. Where do you live?
I live in Ohio.
What inspires you every day today?
I mean, that's a good question. I never really think about. I don't know. I don't know. Carnivore,
Car- Carnivore. Right.
getting healthy. I don't know.
But isn't carnivore like, and the community, one of the most inspiring things you could do?
Yeah, I think so because you're teaching people, just like Jesus did. You're showing them. Jesus
Right.
showed people. That's how he taught people. He showed them to be like him.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's what we're doing in carnivore. We're showing people and you could be like us, and you have a free will. If you
And
don't want to be,
right, right. And so I welcome in herbivores, omnivores, carnivores. I don't care where you are. And you got problems, you have no problems. Although the last thing I looked is dead people have no problems. We all have problems. This is the nature of life. And we're challenged every day. Oh my God, I shouldn't drink coffee. People are going to say I'm a failure. Who cares? Oh my God, I had a martini or a bite of pizza or I had a slice of pizza. I don't let that experience take me down. I enjoy where I'm at, what I do. And the more positivity, which I think is part of carnivore, it's a very positive world. It's like my fasting for 12 days. Don't need to do it. If I break it tonight, who cares? Right? But I
yep.
think that's the beauty of it for both of us, for all of us. As a,
Something. I need to hear what you told me, and I appreciate you telling me that because I really need to hear that. You know,
we're doing this together, and I'm your brother. In some way, I could be your dad. My daughter's 30, 35, and 37, but we're all brothers and sisters. To me, see, I didn't know Jesus when I was young. I couldn't read. I was Catholic, but I didn't understand any of it. Finally, in my 30s, he punished me. And then my eyes opened up in my 40s to him and the ideas he gives both of us and all of us. And it's helped me tremendously. And I talk about it daily, infinite times a day. And so that's the part that I love of this because, we get to talk about it. And this community brings everyone. I mean, look at all social, economic, educational, medical, size, shape, age, weight, gender, color, politics, religion, doesn't matter. Not one bit. And we could join each other on social media, me in upstate New York, you in Ohio, and teaching each other because I learned from you and you learn from me. We learn from each other.
mm-hmm. That's exactly how God intended it.
Right on. Exactly that. So, what's your biggest transformation you've seen so far?
Biggest transformation so far. So, my face. I feel like I could see it more in my face than anything else because I'm still really big. I'm still 500 pounds. Everybody was telling me on my channel, hey, we could see a difference in you every week, but I don't see a difference at all. But looking back, like on my before picture and my after picture, I see it in my face the most. But I think the biggest transformation of it all is honestly just the endurance, being able to walk without getting out of breath, being able to do everything I was able to do before I got really sick.
Wow.
My clothes are huge on me. I'm down 2 shirt sizes. Uh, my pants. I mean, I could pull my pants all the way up to my chest now, and I don't know. And I'm down 150 pounds. That didn't really feel like I don't feel like even the changes that I shouldn't have seen yet. But honestly,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, probably because I'm such a big guy. Um, being 6'5", somebody put on my channel, you don't look like you're 500 some pounds at the time of the video because I showed my whole body and they're like, you must be tall, and I was like, yeah, I guess I might carry it better than somebody that's in 5 foot,
Sure.
but
Your muscle mass and ability to move that body around is powerful. Your muscles are powerful. Your bones are powerful. That's the amazing part to the story.
mm,
It's powerful. Your motivation to come online and share your story, it must be great.
it is. I'm very thankful to get the amount of love and support that I get from complete strangers. I'm just lucky that I got myself out of the hole I was in, and I'm lucky that I got my health back. And I mean, I think about that every day. Actually, that might be my inspiration every day. Is what I just told you, how lucky I am and blessed. I'm truly blessed. I feel like I don't deserve everything that good that's coming to me because of how my life was going. So I
Mm.
felt like at the time when I was unhealthy, I was like, I did something to deserve this. Uh, Maybe God's punishing me, but maybe in hindsight, maybe it was all for a reason, so I can lead more people to God. If I really want to look at it like that, because if I was never 650 pounds and unhealthy, I may have never created this YouTube channel and helped out the people that I help out. And
I have a
so
couple. Keep
go ahead.
going.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to
That's fine.
say, and I want you that who creates everything? Who is the creator of everything?
God,
That's quite God.
Jesus.
Does, does God love us?
I Yeah,
Always.
always.
What does God create that is negative? Nothing.
No, no, yeah, because yeah,
He creates his
everything's for a
love.
reason. Yep.
Right. And so that's kind of helped me a lot is God created you and I because he loves us. God created every experience you've ever had because he loves us. If the first thing we could do in life is recognize the love he gives you in the thing he gives you, we could be like, he loves me. He gave this to me because he loves me. He wants me to grow from this. This must be a training experience and exercise. And ultimately, isn't that what our life is about? It's training, growing,
Mhm.
creating. What great things come out of easy?
I can't think of one. T- Tough
All
times make tough men. I don't know.
right on. And so easy times make hard
Make
times. Hard times make strong times. Strong
it.
men. Is that
It's
it?
funny you say that. I got a friend who's tells me that all the time because I get in these debates with my friend, and he tells me that, and it's one of my favorite things that he says.
God's got this. God loves
Yep.
you always. God's good always. Look in the mirror and say that every single day. I love you. Thank you, God, Lord, creator, for the day, this day, and everything in my day. I don't care what your experience of life is or has been, it's all God's gift.
I will do that.
What do you
I will
tell
do that.
someone who's starting out on this journey?
Well,
What would you do? What
well,
would you tell someone that, hey, I'm just starting out in this journey. I've got some health problems and I need your advice.
I would tell
What's
them that it appears very difficult at first. You'll have these insane cravings, and to always keep bacon and eggs. Keep a fridge full of bacon and eggs for when you every time you get a craving and you think, oh, I got to go get pizza or I got to go and get chips or snacks. Go make yourself some bacon and eggs. Eat 2 pounds of it if that's what it takes, because those cravings will go away. And pretty soon you're not going to be able to eat the 2 pounds of bacon that you could eat when you first started, just because your body will simply just stop you from doing it. I mean, I eat so much less now than I did when I started, just naturally. My hunger signals are activated really fast now, like or deactivated. Like, I don't know how to put this. I get full really easy now. When I first started, I wasn't getting full so easy, and I was having a lot of cravings. And every time I had a craving, I did what I had to do, and that was didn't matter if it was 2, 3 in the morning. I was making bacon and eggs if I had to, just because is so delicious. So it's a good thing to combat the cravings.
and the community every day and listening and learning, because I know for myself, I learned paleo, then keto and carnivore, 20 years ago. And today I just immerse myself in this environment, because the more you put in the mind the power of the carnivore diet and the power of the people like yourself that have experience in this, and the ups and downs, which are normal and natural in life. What are your goal projects that we can look forward to, Ground Beef Chief Michael
Um,
in helping us learn and grow and change?
yeah, so I don't as far as like project goes, like I don't really have like I'm always trying to think of what to put next on my YouTube. Like when I'm working, I'm always thinking about YouTube. Um, it can take me an entire week to think about what to do on YouTube. So I don't have really any projects coming up. I'm still trying to debate on what I'm going to put for my next video, what I'm going to do, because I've been eating the same food for 8 months. So everybody knows what I eat. I'm not going to keep putting out videos of what I eat. So I don't know. I mean, I do have a lot of things going on in life right now. Um, just starting this job. So first, I don't know. I'm just going to get myself where I need to be financially before I can think about any sort of projects or anything. But I still
Yeah.
got to keep my weekly videos coming, no matter what. I put that before everything. You
How
know?
often? How often are you putting out content?
Once a week. I give a weekly update. It's now every Saturday since I started
Yes.
working. It was every Monday or Tuesday or whenever I can get
Yeah.
really, but now it's every Saturday or Sunday. I put update videos where I do a weigh in. I talk about how the week went. I might throw what I'm doing for my exercise routine that particular week. I like every now and again I make what I do my exercise videos. Just basically just talk about how the week went. Talk about the positive changes that I've gotten from carnivore. Last week I made a video of the awkward things that carnivores don't really talk about. You know, certain things that come back in your life after you start doing carnivore that you missed. I just wing it every week.
Yeah.
I wing it the best I can.
I wing it and just do it and don't think too much about it. And I think that's one of the beauties of this whole community and environment. To just show up. Isn't that one of the most important things you'd tell someone who's thinking about carnivore? Just show up, listen and
Yep.
learn, and do something, right?
Yep. Just try to spread the good word. I mean,
Yeah.
I try telling every. I mean, the when I did my job interview, I told my boss that I've about a carnivore diet. You know, I literally probably if I was to meet, if I never met somebody before and I met them in that first conversation we had, I would definitely tell them about the carnivore diet. That's just the way I am, man. It's changed me that much.
It's we're evangelists for the cause.
You got to tell people when something's really if your life is being saved by something, you have to share it. You can't gatekeep it. You got to share it because that's the right thing to do. Don't ever gatekeep something. It doesn't matter if the prices of meat goes up because of it. It's it's worth it because people are getting healed from it.
An expensive meat based diet is better than the cheapest plant-based diet all day long, because you get rid of the inflammation, the diseases, you're more satiated, you're energetic, you drop some pounds if you want to, and we're eating a proper human diet, which is animal based and not plant based.
Yeah, I gotta say though, carnivore's not that bad when it comes to price. Um, so when I was eating like crap before I started carnivore, uh, I could spend, 60, $80 a day on food. I mean, I can go into a truck stop and spend $80 on food, no problem, eat that in one sitting. So right now it costs me an average of about $12 a day to eat on carnivore, which isn't bad at all. And I eat, I make sure I'm getting all the protein I need in it. And for some people, it'd be even cheaper. A lot of people can't eat as much as I can, so carnivore is not that expensive at all. I mean, you can always eat only ground beef and salt.
Yeah.
You can survive perfectly fine on that and be healthy.
And it is amazing. You're right. that the ground beef, and you buy, if you buy a whole cow or you just buy ground beef, it's cheap as anything, and you're not wasting, because most of the plant food you eat goes out your booty, where most of the meat you eat becomes your muscles and your body.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing I was talking about on my last video. When I would go number two before I started carnivore, I mean we're talking. I told people I was setting records on that toilet. The size of the stuff that was coming out of me. I mean we're talking. I mean huge. And now it's I go every day now, but it's like such a small amount. I don't even know what to compare it to, and it's just such a small amount. It's never been like that my entire life. That's one of the biggest improvements on carnivore anybody will notice is this small amount of stuff that comes out of you, and you're still losing weight somehow.
My toilet paper use is way down. I go poop once or twice a week. On my fast, I like 2 weeks almost, like I've had one little poop, and there's no more blood, no more bloating, no more pain, no more hemorrhoids, and it is radical, and it's a game changer. And so no matter what, never stop telling your story, ground beef chief Mike. Keep telling it, keep inspiring us. You're a true example of what's possible when we feed and fuel our bodies with the right carnivore way. And I want everyone to be sure that they check out Michael's channel, Ground Beef Chief, YouTube for more inspiration, real talk, carnivore wisdom. And any last questions or comments before we sign off today, Mike?
Not off the top of my head. We got it all covered.
Awesome. We appreciate you. I'd love to be on your channel sometime. And stay mighty and meat-based. Dr. Rob Kiltz on Carnivore Conversations. We look forward to you sharing, commenting, and more wisdom right here on The Lion's Way.